Jordez Video Game Reviews. Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands is the latest in a long line of Prince of Persia games, and it is doing its best to confuse long-time players and bamboozle those who are attempting to follow the series canon. You see, The Forgotten Sands is not a sequel to the stylistic but often reviled 2008 reboot of the series, nor is it, as you may expect, a video game adaptation of the 2010 film. This would naturally lead you to think that it must be a sequel to the Sands of Time trilogy, and more specifically, the Two Thrones game. Yet again though, you'd be wrong, as it in fact slots in between the first game of that trilogy, The Sands of Time, and its sequel, Warrior Within. For those who have never played a Prince of Persia game, don't be dissuaded by the convoluted timeline, as Forgotten Sands does its best to be accessible to newcomers by having little to no plot to follow. Since it's both a prequel and a sequel to previous games, it attempts to bridge the gap between Sands of Time and Warrior Within. It does so by sending the prince to meet his brother, Malik, who unfortunately is stuck defending his kingdom against a large army. Naturally, events transpire, and it wouldn't be a Prince of Persia game without hordes of undead atrocities being summoned that you must vanquish to save the day. It's a tried and tested series plot which gets the job done, just about, but it won't be winning any prizes for ingenuity anytime soon. Then again, the Prince of Persia games have never been renowned for their complex plots, which have merely been a setup for some crazy free-running platforming. Those who enjoy watching the free-flowing acrobatic skills of the prince, seamlessly sprinting across walls, leaping from ledge to ledge, and making death-defying jumps are in for a treat, as they're all back and they've been tweaked to perfection. The Prince of Persia games have always been unparalleled in this respect, however recently a pretender to the throne has arose, in the form of Assassin's Creed. Forgotten Sands is built on the same engine as the Assassins, so if you've played those games, you'll be aware of some of the moves that the prince has in his arsenal. The main difference between Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed though, is that Assassins was built on an open world, whereas the Forgotten Sands is much more focused and is entirely on linear platforming, with each level crafted superbly to create a fast, free-flowing experience. That isn't to say platforming goes unbroken though, as the series' weak point has resurfaced once again: combat. The Prince of Persia games have tried everything to make battling fun, from the small groups of enemies found in the Sands of Time, to the one-on-one battles that were seen in the 2008 reboot. This time around they've gone big. You'll find massive hordes of enemies flooding the screen trying to engulf you. This seems only to serve as a distraction from the core mechanics of battling though, as it still feels really simple and extremely clunky. Being precise in the midst of battle is nigh on impossible, and you'll just end up mashing buttons in the general direction of enemies, whilst the prince stands on screen flailing his sword about. The increased number of enemies are one of the few new additions to the series, along with elements that slot into platforming, such as the ability to freeze running water for a short period of time. Running across a wall, leaping into the unknown, and seeing yourself hurtle towards flowing water is a terrifying feeling, as all that is stopping you from crashing through that waterfall to your demise is your reactions. If you've played the Sands of Time trilogy, then there isn't too much to entice you, as apart from the combat, which is still as poor as ever, just in a different way now, there's nothing too different in Forgotten Sands. Whether you see this as a compliment or an insult depends on your view of that trilogy. If you've played it and loved it and wouldn't mind seeing more of the same, then I implore you, go buy The Forgotten Sands. The same advice can be given to those who have never played the series, as The Forgotten Sands is unrivaled when it comes to fast, free-running platforming. For everyone else though, it doesn't stand out far enough from its predecessors, and with a pitiful replayability factor, lasting only 8 hours, it sadly doesn't warrant a purchase. For all you trophy hunters though, this lack of replayability plays into your hands, and even better, the Platinum Trophy only requires you to play through the game once. The trophies aren't reliant on difficulty levels, and There are a few collectibles to find, but with a walkthrough, expect an easy platinum in under 8 hours. Thanks for watching my video review. You can check out my full written review at www.jordez.co.uk.